You lot are in trouble. You lot are in trouble. The league is in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United are back. Manchester United 3, Fulham 2. And I know that I'm going to have a lot of haters, a lot of people talking, saying, you just about scraped a win. You won in the 90th minute. If you know Manchester United, if you know the old Manchester United, if you know the United way, if you know the United DNA, we've never done things the hard way. But the most important thing today is that we walked away with the 3 points. And now, some people might be saying I'm getting too ahead of myself. I might be. But Michael Carrick has come in and in his first 3 games have won every single one of them. It took Ruben Amorim almost a year to get 3 wins. So I'm sorry, I'm allowed to get a little excited. I'm allowed to get a little carried away. Okay, I've been starving for a long time and finally I got something to enjoy. Finally, I can start enjoying my weekends. I got something to look forward to. Because what I'm seeing over these last few weeks or last 3 games is something promising. And of course, we can criticize certain things. There are definitely areas of improvement. But in general, what I've seen since Michael Carrick has arrived, I'm more than happy right now. I'm more than happy. And I'm putting the league on alert. I'm letting everybody know. I'm putting an announcement. Put the word out there. My football club is back. Now, of course, I'm going to get a little bit serious. I will discuss the game, of course, and my thoughts on the game. But the first place I want to start off with is the lineup. Now, lineup was kind of predicted. Obviously, Patrick Dorgu picked up an injury against Arsenal. I would have loved to see him. He's been on fire recently, but of course, he's going to be out for some time. So it only made sense for Cunha to be added into the lineup. Now, lineup, I had no issues at all. Of course, the team are kind of have momentum going, so you don't want to disrupt it too much. And I will, of course, be honest, out of the 3 games, it definitely wasn't our best performance. I felt like we were complacent, especially in the first half. A lot of sloppiness, a lot of poor passes, in which out of the 3 performances so far, the 3 games, this was definitely by far our worst performance, or the most poor performance out of the bunch. I felt like in the first half, we were a little bit sloppy. I felt a little bit complacent. I don't feel like the intensity was there in comparison to the game against City and the game against Arsenal. However, ultimately, we did get the job done. And in the first half, of course, Casemiro, man. Cassie, man. Let me take my glasses off. You know when my kids asked me about Casemiro, or what I thought about Casemiro at Man United, it's going to be like that meme, the Vince McMahon meme, when the tears just start coming down, because I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm going to miss this guy. I never thought I'd say this, guys. I never thought these words would come out of my mouth at one point. But I am going to miss Casemiro because, again, he pulls up with another header from a set piece to put us in front. And Casemiro, man, I do need to talk about his journey because, of course, he's had a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, the first 6 months under Ten Hag, he was amazing. That run, it was unbelievable. I felt like he almost hit another level coming from Real Madrid. Started getting into his goal-scoring bag, was playing some of the best football in his career, to be honest with you, in those 6 months. And obviously ended up winning the Carabao Cup. And then, of course, after that, he took a huge dip in performances. A lot of people can argue that maybe it was to do with the system and the formation under Ten Hag. At times, he was isolated in midfield, which didn't get the best out of his game. So you could argue that. But ultimately, at that times, his performances weren't good. It got to the point where people were calling for him to leave the club. You had pundits calling him out, of course, telling him to leave before the football leaves him. And he was made a scapegoat at one point. And there were some horrific performances. I do remember the one against Liverpool at home where he got hooked at halftime. But the way he has turned it around over the past year, especially under Amorim, when a lot of people counted him out, especially his age. A lot of people said he wasn't good enough anymore. A lot of people said he didn't have the legs. A lot of people called him overweight. And every single time he's been criticized, he's always come back to prove people wrong. He's always said, you know what? Never took it to heart. Said, you know what? I'll prove you wrong. I'll go fix my issues. I'll go fix my weight. I'll go fix my form. And he's done just that. And he's an important player in this team. We can't lie. He's a leader in the changing room. You can tell on and off the pitch. And you can see that the players respect him. So he's going to be a huge miss when he leaves this football club. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be very hard for us to fill that void. Maybe not necessarily in terms of on the pitch, because there are, of course, a lot of players that can come in and do a good job. But in terms of his leadership and what he brings off the pitch as well, I think he's going to be hugely missed. So credit to Casemiro, another big goal, puts us in the lead 1-0. And then, of course, we go into half time. You could argue, Fulham was slightly the better team in that first half. Again, I do feel like that came down to our complacency. I feel like we were a little bit sloppy, weren't playing with that same level of intensity. But we go into that second half and we get another goal through Mateus Cunha. Back-to-back games for Cunha. 2 goals now. As little as 2 games. And the assist comes from Casemiro, his Brazilian brother, his Brazilian teammate. And it was the Brazil show today, man. Brazil turned it up for us today. I'm not gonna lie to you, I need some more Brazilian jugadores at this football club, man. I need more. I need more of that. Cunha, I need more. I need another Casemiro. Give me more Brazilians, please. Yeah, I need to hear the samba in the stadium. I need to hear that. Mana tu baila, toma so I need more of that. I need more of that. Because again, today the Brazilians turned it up for us, man. And I'm not gonna lie to you, they've been over the last 3 games been pulling in some credible performances, man. So I need some more of that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Vinicius, Rodrigo, I'm looking at you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm looking at you guys. I might, we might need to take a couple of Brazilians into this team. But yeah, jokes aside, once we did get up 2-0, we had a lot more control in the game. But again, the complacency starts to creep in, a lot of sloppiness, and then that kind of gives Fulham the confidence to feel like they can get back into the game, and they've done just that. And that was through our error. Through our own error. Maguire concedes the penalty. I felt like it was a bit of a miscommunication, or Maguire not really trusting Lemens there. And ultimately concedes the penalty, and Raul Jimenez, of course, slots away. But even at 2-1, I'm thinking, we can still see out the game. But it's never Manchester United if we don't do the things the hard way. It's never Manchester United if we don't do things the hard way. You know this. If you've watched Manchester United for as long as I have, you will know that we've never done things the hard way. We always make things difficult for ourselves. And Kevin, to be fair to him, absolute wonder strike. I don't think there's anything we could have done about that. I even had to just hold my hand up and say fairs. In those moments, there's nothing you could do. It's an absolute worldie. And you just have to clap it. You just got to applaud and say fairs. And at that point, I thought, you know what? We've messed up. We've given away the 3 points. The crazy thing is, though, under Amorim, I would have been like, let's just leave with the point. I would have been pessimistic and just be like, I don't want to lose this game. Let's just walk out with a point. But I still felt confident. With the amount of time that we had left in injury time, I still felt like we could still get another goal, and we did just that. Benjamin Sesko comes up with the winner, and I feel like he needed that. Sesko really needed that. I know he's obviously was scoring a few weeks ago and whatnot, but I feel like that moment to get the winner at Old Trafford in that manner, I think it's going to be a huge, huge boost for his confidence. I think he really needed that. And yeah, we end up walking away with the 3 points. We end up seeing out the game. And now look, some people might be like, you listen, Liban, you're doing too much, man. You come out with the glasses, you sound a little bit cocky, It's just a honeymoon phase. It could be. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have seen this script before. I saw it under Ollie. It could be a honeymoon period. I'm not gonna deny that. But however, I feel like the performances that we've put in over the last 3 weeks, the results that we've got in the last 3 weeks, it does really, really feel like the old United. It really does. It does give me the old United vibes. Even us winning in Fergie time. And to do it the way we've done it today, it really does resemble the old United. And that's why I'm kind of happy, because it's like, over the last year or so under Amra, I just felt like I didn't enjoy watching my football club anymore. I felt like it was a chore. I just felt like I was watching games with a rush of anxiety, not knowing what was going to happen. But now I can start to see a pattern. I can start to understand what the lineup is going to be, how we're going to play, how we're going to set up. And I love the togetherness. Honestly, I love togetherness. I feel like that's been needed. Not to say that wasn't there under Amra, but I just feel like the players have a new lease of life. Honestly, under Carrick, I just feel like there's a different type of atmosphere at the moment. And even when you're watching it on TV, you can feel the buzz. I feel like the fans now feel a buzz. I feel like everyone's a bit more confident. Everyone's looking forward to watching their team. And you have to remember, we're only playing 1 game a week. We're only playing 1 game a week. So you want to look forward to the next game. You want to go into the next game with confidence. And I feel Mike Carrick has done that. I feel like he's given us that confidence. Next game is against Tottenham. Another tough game at home. So that will be another test. Of course, yes, Tottenham haven't been really doing too well in the league. But we know this Manchester United team, you know, the problem with this Manchester United team is not against the big teams. Even under Amram, we were getting results against the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the Chelseas, all the tough teams, all the hard games, we were winning them. It was these games like today against Fulham at home, against the lesser teams or teams out of form that we tend to drop points against. So today was for me a bigger test than the one against Man City, and also some people might laugh at that, some people might disagree, but for me, seeing that we always drop points against teams that we're expected to win, we always drop points against the teams that we're expected to dominate and walk out with a result, especially at Old Trafford. You've seen it already this season: Everton, West Ham, Burnley, even Leeds away. Like, these are the type of games we should be winning, and unfortunately this season that's cost us a lot of points because we just simply haven't got those results. And the big teams is where we've ended up getting the points that we've got. So today was definitely the biggest test, and I feel like we passed it in terms of result, maybe not performance, but the result. And at the end of the day, the result is the most important thing. We need those 3 points. We need to keep winning games in order to make sure that we get that Champions League football next season. So Tottenham game next week, big one. I know Tottenham are out of form, but it's still a big game. They are still a big team in this league. So we need to make sure that, you know, we turn up with the intensity that we had in the Man City game, the intensity that we had in the Arsenal game. And if we do that, if we even do 75% of that, we beat Tottenham. I'm confident that we win that game. So yeah, right now, happy days. Right now, I'm happy with how things are going. Of course, you could still say it's early. It is, but I don't know how this is going to last. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So I'm going to enjoy while I can. And who's going to stop me? Nobody. Nobody. So yeah, but anyway, listen, my peoples, make sure to comment as well your thoughts on the game and who you thought played well. Oh, let me actually pick my man of the match. Who will be my man? Casemiro. Yeah, that's easy. It has to be Casemiro. Come on, a goal and assist. Yeah, 100% for me is Casemiro. Yeah, you know, this last dance for Casemiro, man, I can't lie to you, it's going to be a big emotional roller coaster for me. He's definitely my man of the match. Yeah, but let me know in the comments who you thought your man of the match was, your thoughts on the game in general, and please, my people, make sure to share, like, and subscribe as well. But until next time, peace.